Um, yes. Out of curiosity, so I mean, what was the ideal college life of an '80s undergraduate economics student or a postgraduate one in the
You
back in
see,
India?
mine, I did my undergraduate from Patna,
Patna,
and
yes.
it was very, very poor. Um People just came and dictated their lectures with notes which were very poor quality to begin with. I mean, I shouldn't be saying all these things, but I have very difficult time being tactful
Yes.
and things like that. But yeah, I mean, as far as education was concerned, by this time things were already becoming quite poor. But I don't think Patna ever had a very good economics, or Bihar
Mm,
has, had there were good economists from Bihar, I think, but they all went out.
mm,
But they were not teaching in history. Patna was very, very strong. Uh,
mm.
and even some sciences, but not economics. Then I was fortunate to get in Delhi School of Economics, and Delhi School of Economics was a eye opener
Mm.
because here people didn't come in, and Kaushik Basu was a young lecturer then. So
Okay.
Basu, Lahiri, etc., they were young lecturers, and they were quite enthusiastic. Basu was a very enthusiastic young guy, and then you had, Sukhmay Chakravarti and people like that who were already legends. But
Yes.
everybody, people taught you, and they asked questions from what they had taught. And that's kind of a system I did not know.
Yes.
And in general, like, coming from Patna, a small town, to Delhi was a big move. It took me one
Mm,
year to get adjusted to it. But Delhi School of Economics was not bad
mm.
in the early 80s, even though it had declined from its heydays. It was
Yes.
not bad. And students were quite good. I
Mm.
mean, Sanjay Subramaniam was my classmate.
Wow.
Now he's become a big shot.
Yeah.
Many,
Yes.
many of those people. So I mean, so it was not bad. And then when I went to US, SUNY Buffalo was not the top universities, but there were some people who were quite good, like Murray Brown was very good, and I worked with Paul Zaremka. Zaremka was quite, he made a name, he was
Mm,
at Berkeley and all that. So he made a name in mainly econometrics in his PhD dissertation, and then he worked on development economics. But when he moved to, I mean, politically, I'm sure he was very
mm,
left and had a soft corner for Marxism, etc. But after becoming a tenured professor,
mm,
he thought comfortable enough to say, okay, I'm just gonna become a Marxist.
mm.
So, uh, so by the time I got there, he was an established Marxist name in
Yes.
the American small Marxist academic institution. He had a journal. He used to edit research in political economy journal, and so
Mm,
I had a very narrow focus from the beginning because I had taken my PhD idea there, and
mm,
I remember Raghavendra Jha,
mm,
uh, very famous now development economist. He was at the school for some time when I was thinking of moving to US, and he told me about that. SUNY Buffalo has Paul Zaremka, who you can work with on Marx if you want to, because there are very few institutions one can work with, and this institution gave me money. I couldn't
mm.
go on my own money. I didn't have money to
Yes.
go to US. So that made the decision, and Paul was very, very good to me in the sense that I had a full liberty of whatever I wanted to do. I
Hmm.
mean, it
That's
very quickly it became that okay, you tell me, you teach me value theory, I don't know.
nice.
So that way I enjoyed doing it, and so it was a good experience that way.
I mean, you
But
sparred with your classmates. You had debates, like fun debates, slight
yeah,
disagreements. And, yeah.
I mean, in Buffalo, yeah, we
No.
we had a very small group of people who were interested in Marx, but I made good friends, even like very right wing people. They all the one thing which uh, was good about the U.S. or at least the student gathering, we had Chinese, we had Korean, we had
Yes.
Indians, we had Americans. Uh, I had the advantage that I had already done masters
Hmm.
and had also taught for a few years in Delhi University. So, and these people were coming just after their 4 years of the American students, most of them,
Hmm.
after
Hmm.
4 years of their undergraduation. So obviously, I was more matured in economics, and but they were not thinking that way. So they were thinking, wow, Ajit is so bright. It is not bright. It's just like I had a few more years over you.
Yeah.
So, so they were very respectful.
Hmm.
They were very, very respectful. So I had a breeze. I mean, I really, had a good time. And still, like, if I meet anybody from my batch in US, etc., I carry the same. I mean, nothing has changed. So the point is, yeah, but the other problem was that, I mean, if you work on Marx, etc., your world becomes very small because
Yes.
the intellectual world in America had already moved.
From yeah.
Uh, and Marx never was a big thing in US, but
Yes.
still, uh, by this time in economics, history of economic thought was being pushed out. So it
Yes.
didn't matter whether you are a right wing, I mean, neoclassical historian of thought or left, because left was trying to, or Marxists were trying to move,
Yes.
maintain themselves as a historian of thought. So they figured that out. They said, let's get this thing out.
Nice.
So history of thought was out, Marxism, obviously, classical political economy. So you have very little scope,
Hmm.
and this rational expectation
Oh,
was
yeah.
just taking over. It was just taking over. So it was that sort of a period in the US. But in India, what has happened is it seems that, I mean, we could see it was happening in our time as well, that
Hmm.
America, US was dominating in economics.
Yes.
And you will see that in my generation and before me also. I mean, Kaushik, etc., they came from London school. So they went to British institutions to some extent, the good ones,
Hmm.
go Cambridge or London school, etc. But by my generation, nobody was going there. Most of the people were just going to US.
Yes.
And even before my generation, few years senior. So what you have is that when that lot comes back, they bring the US economics with them, and US economics and US institutional
Yes.
setup and the way. So the Indian economics now, earlier it was more dominated by British
No, it's
and
Americanized. Yeah.
Cambridge oriented, but now it's very, very American. So you don't have much scope. I mean, this sort of the kind of thing I'm talking to you about is, you know, is has very, very, very limited. Still in India,
Hmm.
Srafa's name, senior people, of course, have a very high respect for the name.
Yes.
And if you are a Serafian or do some heterodoxy, post-Keynesian, etc., you have more space within
Yes.
universities than you will have in US, or even Europeans are also moving the same way, but still they have some space. But heterodoxy doesn't have much space. But on the other hand, it's a political issue, it's institutional politics going on.
Hmm.
But it's not just that. That the heterodoxy is where has too much of internecine
Yes.
warfare among themselves. They are, because they have very little. When you have very little,
Yes.
most of the energy goes into capturing that, keeping that,
Power.
journals, people behaving in a way which I find that, you know, do they have a sense of what they're doing? Maybe they have, because it's just like personal preservation. So it
Hmm.
becomes so intense that they can't think beyond that. So there
Yes.
is nobody out there within heterodoxy. Eh, I mean, Harcourt is no longer there.
Hmm.
I mean, people like Jeffrey Harcourt.
Hardcore. Yeah.
Uh, you need people of, you know, and Jeffrey Harcourt's generation is below Sarafa, John Robinson, and people like that who were
Yes.
intellectually
Yes.
much sharper people, Karl
Yes.
Dor, etc. But Harcourt, etc., they saw the culture to some extent, and these
Hmm.
people. So they understood. Harcourt was definitely stood out in
Hmm.
this
From the.
context, that he had the broad mind of not just supporting whoever follows me. He
Hmm.
will support his followers, as every senior people do,
Hmm.
or students, but he will support heterodoxy in general in a very generous and wide way.
Hmm.
This this is, I mean, I cannot see it today
In
in
India.
today's,
Yeah.
not in India, world I'm talking.
World.
India,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm talking about the
World.
world of heterodox, which is a very small group.
World.
In the world of heterodoxy, I don't see a 120, 1/4 of Harcourt anywhere
Hmm.
who has generosity
Yes.
and have the sense that, look, this is a different, this is a economics which is on the margin, and anybody who is doing something on the margin or interested in should be given a helping hand. No,
No.
it's a cutthroat, and
Yeah.
it's just full of mediocrity. You cannot become generous unless you are have, you have something.
Yes.
You have to be rich somewhere to be
Yes.
generous. These people are not rich at all. So they are just cutthroat, trying to hold on to whatever they think they have, their
Yes.
parents give them. So they are holding on to their ancestral property in a very jealous manner,
Yes.
and it will kill it. This is the last generation of heterodoxy, unless something big happens. Somebody
Hmm.
comes. I don't see it going anywhere. It's a
Damn.
very bad situation. Yeah.
Okay. You watched, I think, the chilling words. So,
I mean, I feel depressed at times.
yes.
And again, it's because I am not somebody who thinks anti-orthodoxy is a great thing, or
Hmm.
I am in a war against somebody. No,
No.
I think that a lot of these people are very smart. They are within a paradigm. They're thinking. They're changing. They're moving about.
Yes.
uh, those who are doing their politics, etc., is a different thing. Where every institution has it.
Hmm.
But these people, I'm just saying that heterodoxy is also saying that, okay, apart from that, there could be some other ways of
Yes.
doing it, right?
Exactly.
Think
Yes.
about it. And we are on the margin,
Yes.
and we are basically, we have daggers out for each other.
Yes. Yeah.
How can
Yes.
I mean, for one thing, the bigger world thinks that you no longer exist.
Yes.
You are doing this sort of a thing. It's just not good. It's not good.
Hmm.
It doesn't augur
True.
well for the future of heterodoxy, because anybody who comes up with new idea. Look, in
Be done.
physics,
Yes.
if in physics, I mean, this happens. Like there was a time when you were doing quantum physics, you are a lunatic, and now if you're not doing quantum physics, you are lunatic. So the point is that people capture, and then one way of thinking becomes, Uh, but my point is that heterodoxy is so small.
Yes. Yes.
Now it's been squeezed out.
Yes.
If you don't show generosity or openness to new
Yes.
ideas,
Yes.
any new idea means that it's a attack on me or my position, and it has to be silenced.
Yes.
Then you finished.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. All you will do produce encyclopedia and this and that, etc. You are compiling because you think that new thinking is not possible.
But there's no self-awareness from the other side. Like, I mean, there has to be some level of self-awareness of not being able.
I mean, look, if you don't have uh, i- if you don't have new ideas,
Yes.
you know, making you move and work on it, and you think something has to be done, you don't have it. Then what you do?
Yeah.
You have to build your career, promotion, whatever. Institutions requires you doing something. So that's
Yes.
what you do.
True.
You do encyclopedia, you do this,
Yes.
you control the journal so that you can produce and publish something, same thing, this,
Yeah.
that, etc. I mean, but you don't have a movement.
Yes. Such.
It doesn't have an energy. Energy in an intellectual world, energy comes from new ideas.
True.
And PhD students are looking for new ideas where they can do something. But if you kill new ideas, you say, no, 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 whatever Garanyani said, that's the last word.
Yes.
Everything on Sharafa has
Whatever
been
Keynes
done
said.
by some of three, four names.
Yeah.
Is a closed book. So then Sharafa is a closed book. Why would anybody work on it?
Yeah.
If you are a young PhD student and somebody tells you, they will give you a topic. They do this way. They have written something,
Yes.
a thesis, and then a PhD student is given the same topic to do a thesis on it. You established my point now.
Yes.
How much what do you do? I mean, it's nothing. You need to tell people that, look, here is a new idea. Why don't you just go and explore this thing? Why don't you open up this thing? Have you seen this? Have you
Yes.
seen that?
Yes.
Something of that nature,
Got
where
it.
you ignite somebody's curiosity and give that
The
person enough confidence that you can come up with something new.
true.
Not that well established, I have already said this, now
Yeah.
you go and write a book on it.
Gospel truth, kind of this thing.
You don't try
It's
to book on what you have already said.
there.
I mean, what is the point of it? But
They,
that's how they think that they are advancing their.
they call this refining. Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever it is, but
Yes.
you can look at when neoclassical economics happened, or when classical economics early period, you can see that there is excitement. No,
Yes.
somebody comes up with new ideas, excitement. You can see that Ricardo. I mean, Adam Smith did his big work, and after that, you can see that Ricardo, Torrance, this, that. I mean, they were all over the place and writing things which were like, trying to solve some problems, come up with new ideas. Even like, Cambridge, if you look at this, Rafa, Keynes, Caldo, these people were at least like had an agenda.
Yes.
They had an agenda. This is what I'm trying to say. We don't have an agenda,
Yeah. That's
apparently.
yes.
We
I think
don't
there
have
should
an,
be unity. I mean, like
unless there's an intellectual agenda
such.
that we should be going, we should be
Mm.
exploring.
Yes.
And there are things which, I mean, anything can be asked, the basic foundations can be questioned.
Hmm.
Those, unless you give
Yes.
that to your younger students that they
Students.
can question the foundations, there is nothing. I mean, this is what in India we did. What we killed Indian intellectual thing by basically telling our students that your job is the real work, foundational works happen in US and England or wherever. Your job is to bring it and
Brilliant.
tweak
Yes. Yes.
write take that model and put a equation that for India I
Yes.
change this equation to that equation,
Mention.
maybe one theta prime I add and do my econometrics and get my PhD. I mean, this
Brilliant,
is
sir. Someone, I think someone, I mean, I would truly hats off to you for this. Someone spoke the truth. It is, you don't know how exasperating it is to see. I mean, the exact thing
yeah.
you mentioned. It's, my
But
God.
this is all professors do to their
Yeah.
students. They just do not let their students think that they can do something
Yes.
original.
Yes. I mean,
They have no confidence
and
in
it's
their
shunned. Even
students.
if you try to, cross-question, critique, it's
Not
shunned.
true. Because they have never done it. Their supervisors have done this to
Exactly.
them. So it's a very bad situation. So what can you do? I mean, I talk about these things, but I'm
This is,
a minority of one.
yes.
What the situation is? Yeah.
Yes. I think that's what it's for. Well, any advice you'd like to give to the daring ones who want to, revolutionize
You
this?
see, there are two kinds of. One is like when I was a PhD student in US, and I used to attend like in history classes and all
Yeah.
that. This used to be the question like, should you do PhD on Marx? And like the
Yes.
senior people will tell, no, no, do PhD on something which will get you a job, and after that you work on whatever you want. You get your tenure, and then you. But what happens is that by the time you get your tenure, you have invested so much into whatever you didn't like to do, maybe, but
Hmm.
then it becomes very hard to move because. So my own advice is that the life will be tough if you take my advice. But my
Yes.
advice is that if you are a bright guy,
Hmm.
don't listen to your advisors that you are not a bright guy. Okay,
Yes.
so you have to know it, right? And whether you are
Absolutely.
bright or not is not that important. What
Absolutely.
is important is that do you have a question in your mind? You want to explore that area.
Yes.
You want those questions that are bothering you. Then you say that I'm just going to do that.
Yes.
You just, I mean, you pass your exam and this and that and get to PhD.
GPA. Hmm.
Somebody who will let you do your PhD, you will
Yes.
have difficulty maybe getting a job if your questions and the directions you have taken is not the mainstream. So you may have difficulty getting a job, etc. But if you follow if those questions are important and you are committed to staying with it, like
Yes.
in 20 years, 30 years, I'm just going to stay with it. In that case, you will get uh, success.
Yes.
Uh, so it requires perseverance,
Yes.
serious amount of. So for that, you need to have somewhere at the back of your mind that I will get there.
Yes.
So I have felt my personal feeling, and it's very, very, genuine. I felt time and again people told me, "Why don't you do development or do this?" This is. Well, I felt like I was in a tunnel, dark
Hmm.
tunnel for
Yes.
years, just digging. And I always thought that, look, going back
Yes.
and trying that's felt like I just thought that no, might as well keep digging. There is other
Yes.
side.
Further.
Get
Yes.
out. And it took a very long time, but my 2016 book is getting out
Hmm.
of the tunnel. I got something. That's it.
Yes. I think
Intellectual.
that is true, Samuel. Well, thank you for appearing on the podcast. I just want to say right off the bat that this was, I think, an extremely pleasurable experience. Just, I mean, I think you spoke my mind, my contentions that I have as well. It's,
Well, good luck. Good luck. I hope you
yes, sir.
keep in touch, and I hope you succeed
Yes,
in
sir.
whatever
I
you.
mean, it was truly, I mean, if I may use the phrase, I'm not even joking. It was truly an honor to have this interaction with you because I didn't expect, I mean, such dictums or such veracity would come out of a discussion like this on all its dimensions. It's just, I mean, I'm grateful for the fact that, there are people like you in the Indian diaspora, right, who both have an international presence and who still sort of maintain that distinction and bolster us as well, right? Who embolden us as well. So it's truly thank you for your work
Well,
and for all of that.
thank you, and good luck.
Yes, sir.
I hope you succeed in doing
Yes,
whatever
sir.
you want to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Take care, Ashish.
Likewise,
Take
sir.
care.
It was a brilliant session.